Hello everyone, welcome to the Viewpoint. I am Prahar and I'm your anchorman for the day. We are going to bring you the Indian personal perspective of American culture and as compared to our own. And first for the day we have Shivani live who has some interesting observations about the travel habits of Americans.
Hello, I am Shivani. Traveling in the United States has been one interesting experience for me personally. People here seem to be very punctual about their appointment, whereas in India, many people are not so. It is like if they need to reach the destination at 10, they would preferably leave their place at 9:50, knowing it is a 10 to 20 minute drive at times depending on the traffic. The trains there are punctual but have many delays at times. But here in the States, I noticed how trains are so punctual, which is really nice, except when we miss it. Like just recently, we were returning to Fairfield from Grand Central Station and the train was scheduled to depart at 8:54 and the train did depart exactly at 8:54, not a minute later. That was really nice to see. We have many options of transport for internal travel such as cars, buses, motorbikes and also auto rickshaws. In some places like Mumbai and Delhi, for example, we have the option of metro rails and regular trains for internal city area travel. Whereas here, the majority of the travel options are the bus, for which we have to wait according to its time. In India, you don't need to wait because we have many options available to you according to your convenience and are cheaper. When it comes to driving, we prefer driving a two-wheeler more than a four-wheeler because of the traffic. Not every location has wide roads because India has less land space compared to the population it holds. I also noticed how people drove at a very constant speed, whether in the city or on the highway. They maintain a specific distance between the vehicles. Many Indians are always in such rush for some reason or the other that they are speeding above the limit many times. Some of us grab a chance to go ahead of other vehicle at every single opportunity we get. But again, we have to be very alert because we end up facing cows or stray dogs once in a while. Expense-wise, I personally felt India is cheaper compared to the fares in the state. This may be a reason to the currency rates that we face due to dollars. We follow the British system of left-hand drive, that is the driver sits on the left and here it is the right-hand drive. Also, all the people that I came across here use automatic transmission cars, whereas in India, people prefer a manual transmission car. They would own an automatic car but not use it on a regular basis. People in the States don't honk as much as we do on the streets. We are very noisy on the roads actually. We also have people who will honk unnecessarily and sometimes way too much honking is heard during traffic jams. People lack patience over there. And those are my personal thoughts on travel here in the US compared to back home in India. Back to you, Prahar.
Well, that was very interesting, Shivani. Up next, two of our students, Manas and Mitali, one from media production and one from the business program, decided to spend their last Sunday here in America in the New York City. Mitali, being too excited to hold it in, decided to visit the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge connects two boroughs of the city, Manhattan and Brooklyn. It was declared as a National Historic Landmark in 1964 and has been a major tourist spot since then. Let's have a look at the reactions from their visit. they had a great time. When talking about cultural differences, you can't forget about the food and how interesting it is. We now go to Pratna and Khushbu for their perspective on the American food.
Thank you, Prahar. Coming to food, American cooking is a fusion of multiple ethnic or regional approaches into completely new cooking styles, whereas Indian cuisine has been evolved and influenced through foreign invasions, religious and cultural choices, trade, relations, and colonialism. When experiencing both sides of this food fiesta, we can come up with lots of contrast between the cuisines, mannerisms, and styles.
Here meals are eaten in a linear manner, which means there is salads followed by appetizers and main course, and then ended up with dessert, all one after another. In India, we have a concept of thali, which means everything is served all together in one big dish. The person has her choice to eat first and end up his meal with. It starts with a spice which we Indians love. Here people prefer more of creamy food and avoid spicy hot stuff.
Also, the amount of sodas we consume is quite less when you watch the scenario here. Generally, we prefer buttermilk, curd, sweet buttermilk or simple water over sodas on a regular days. Talking about the style of eating, due to the type of food we prefer to consume, usage of fork and spoon is not very prevalent. We use our hands to eat our food and spoons are just used for soups and curries.
The timings of meal too are varied. Like here, it is dinner time. Back home, we would be preparing ourselves to relish hot cup of evening tea infused with ginger for its flavor and dried tea leaves all boiled in milk and water along with the tea masala. Here, there is much inclination towards tea bag, which is just dip and go. Prioritizing season and changing our evening habits is also found. We have seasonal fruits and veggies available during a particular season rather than all round the year, like mangoes in summer, eggplants, carrots and radishes only in winter. Undiyu is a special dish made only in winters consisting all winter vegetables.
Thus, we can say that our Indian lives revolve around food and traditions in a very different way than here in States. Back to you, Prahar.
Thank you, Pratna. Thank you, Khushbu. That segment made me really hungry. Now let's talk about entertainment with Shrishta.
Indian cinema, also known as Bollywood, like we all know, is like musicals, but technically they're not. Actually, they are 3-hour films with lots of drama or action, depending on the genre of course, with 4 to 5 songs on average in between. Whereas Hollywood basically has musicals and films separately. Movies with a lot of songs are termed as musicals, for example, High School Musical or Singing in the Rain, and films are like The Blind Side or The Matrix. These films don't have songs or dancing in the middle of a serious scene. According to me, the best part about Indian movies is that there are songs in the middle of a horror film too. Take a look at this one. Oh, that was interesting. Back to you, Prahar.
Thank you, Shrishta. That was really interesting. And as we all know, Indians love musicals. Coming up next, we have a video to show to you to depict our story here in the US.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey man, what's up?
How's up? You gotta read it first.
Ratlami said?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try some.
Is it? No, I didn't eat it that time. I wouldn't eat it.
That was really funny. We have every time we try to feed Americans our Indian food, and this is what we get. Up next, big story tonight: thieving seagulls. They'll steal everything: your pants, bikinis, food, whatever they can get their beaks on. Today's political hot topic: foreigners' views on the US presidential race. Joining me now are our two guests from PTPU India, Ghana and Shivang. We are going to talk about the exciting race between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and get different perspectives from foreign students and how they feel as the elections get closer and closer. So the first question goes out to Shivang. If we see Donald Trump win this election, how do you think that is going to affect the environment in the US?
Alright, his proposal is on just, sending out the immigrants, the illegal immigrants and legal immigrants. What I think is that would affect the jobs and that will reduce the labors and that might affect the economy of USA.
Okay, yeah. And what are your views about it, Ghana?
I think also the immigrants, that's just what Shivang said. The immigrants are going to face a lot of challenges because he's against illegal immigrants. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to go back? Are they supposed to stay here? I mean, that's the question.
Oh, so, okay. Moving on to our next question to Ghana. How do you think it would affect other nations, and on a greater scale, how would it affect internationally?
Donald Trump is one of those Republican leaders who believe that climate change is not real, which is not true. I mean, the Asian countries where we live, India, we know that the climate changes are occurring. It is real. Global warming is an actual thing.
Right, it is an actual thing.
So if he doesn't believe it, that means he's giving the green light towards all the industrialization that
So you think
owns
he's
them.
not trying to control the pollution levels and he's not doing anything to
Yes,
contribute
I don't
towards
think
the
he will do anything
Okay.
that will make
And how
an
about you,
effect.
Shivang? How do you feel about it?
Well, I like to, just tell one thing. I mean, you can understand the other nations are gonna face the problems due to Trump's proposals.
Yes, right. So you mean that it might affect their economy or
Yeah,
their,
even USA's economy and even other countries' economy, because there was like industrial connection between these countries and now
right.
it is
Because
not gonna
as we
work.
know, US is one of the biggest importer
Exactly,
of goods
and now
stuff.
they
Yeah.
exactly, and now they don't want anyone to bring in or take out the supplies. Then it might affect the economy of the country.
Okay, great. And we've heard many speeches from both the candidates over the long period of time. And what I'd like to ask you is, which one of these speeches interests you guys the most? We'll start with Shivang here first.
All right, I heard his speech on economy, and it was good. I mean, he proposed to cut the taxes for people who stay in USA, and that was the speech when he was very confirm about his point. I mean, when he had a very strong point. That's all.
Okay. And Ghana, what do you feel?
I think the speech that the whole chaos that happened between Donald Trump and Khazir Khan, the father of Humayun Khan.
Right, the fallen,
fallen
soldier.
soldier.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was a very interesting debate going on at that time, where he said that his mother, who was just standing beside Khazir Khan, his father, wasn't allowed to speak, which later her wife, like Khazir Khan's wife, said that it was not true. She was just mourning for her son's death.
Right.
I mean,
We get it. And then
I
how
don't know
Trump,
why he would say he was
Yeah.
not allowed.
And how
Like
Trump
he meant
attacked
women
her
are not allowed to
yeah,
speak.
I get it. But for our viewers who do not know about this, could we elaborate a little on it?
Yeah, I
Ghana?
mean, he thinks that Muslim women are oppressed by their husbands or brothers. So I don't think that is true. I mean, it's the 21st century. We're not living like I don't know why he would say that.
Yeah, so it kind of
was-
shows the
It was
anti-Islamic.
it was a very controversial thing, but yeah, the speech interested me. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. According to you, who do you think has a greater chance of winning these elections and why, Yana?
I think Donald Trump has a slightly higher chance of winning this because there is no such thing as bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. I mean, he is always on the news. He's always in the newspapers. He's on the internet. Everybody's tweeting about him. So,
Right. So even with the shenanigans that have been going on related to Donald Trump,
Yes,
whether-
and there are
whether they are
people who-
racist or racist claims or his speeches against feminism and stuff, that still affect his chances
I
of
think
winning greatly.
there is a major group who is against him, but then there are groups also who are pro Trump. And sometimes publicity just works.
Right. And Shivang,
Yeah.
what do you feel about it?
I don't think Trump should win the elections, but then, as Gaina said, there are many people who support him and they are going to vote him, so we can really not do anything about that.
Yeah, but who do you think has a greater chance anyway?
I think Trump has, because in past few weeks he's been,
Gathering a lot of.
yeah. He's been talking no sense, but still people are going to vote him.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to the fifth questions we have today. Who do you think should win the election and why do you agree to them? Like which candidate?
I don't think. I mean, I don't feel like voting any of them.
you feel like not casting a vote for either?
Yeah,
Why is that so?
because there's see, Trump's point is true with the economy. It's good, but when his point for immigrants is not the right. Understand?
Yeah.
And then again, Hillary is proposing a point where she might reduce the education policies in the USA.
Yeah,
So-
right. The interest for the education loans,
Yeah.
interest rates, right.
So
But that,
maybe Trump would win the elections. That's what I think.
okay. And Gana, what do you feel about it? Who do you think should win this election?
I have a very neutral opinion. I don't really see myself voting for anybody. I
For
think, I mean,
either
I'm
candidate?
not happy with either of the candidates, but if I had to choose, I would choose Hillary Clinton.
Oh, right. Moving on to the next question. Who do you think is more qualified to run for the presidency from either of the candidates? Gana?
I think Clinton is more qualified because she has a lot of experience in the parliament, whereas Trump has only been a businessman. He just emerged out of nowhere in before 2 years. So I think, yeah, so Clinton would be my choice.
Yeah, how about you, Shivang?
Yeah. Even I have the same opinion. I mean, Trump's proposal are purely depending on the business, and Clinton has been thinking for the for the people of America.
Right.
So
I guess we all agree that
yeah, Clinton is more qualified.
because of her
Definitely.
maybe family background or her experience in the parliament. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to the seventh question. Had there been another major candidate, let's suppose superficially, who would you guys have wanted it to be? Yana?
Superficially speaking, I think I would want somebody younger, like the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
Oh,
Yeah, I think somebody like him, like in the image of him, would
yeah, he's a great prime minister. Yeah, if he was
he
in
would
what he's
make
been
a
doing
good
for his
president
country.
of America, maybe.
Yeah. And how about you, Shivang? Who do you think should have been a candidate?
I
According to
think America needs a Modi.
You think the Indian Prime Minister Modi?
Yeah,
All right.
they do need one.
All right, so thank you for joining me today and for sharing your views on the upcoming election.
Yeah.
And signing off.
Thank you.
And finally, before we go, is the question that is on everyone's mind: to wipe or to wash? Which one do you prefer? Here in America, wiping is the preferred option. From all of us here at the Viewpoint, thank you for watching. Goodbye, good luck, and stay in school.